Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of Sewing My Pinterest Board. This time, fall. I can't believe it's fall. I mean, it's only fall because I'm already over the sun setting at 5 p.m. And if you're like me, and you don't like this rough patch in between summer and Christmas where it seems to be Black Friday for 5 months, I invite you to craft, to sew, to stay inside your head. Today, let me show you what I've planned to do this week. I have planned for you guys a little dress, a little top, and a little bag, which is actually gonna be quite a big bag. So this is a dress I'm planning to make. I found this pattern on Etsy and I'm still a bit conflicted on whether to do a kind of sleeveless option, to do a little sleeve, or also the turtleneck. All I know is actually that I want it to be like a midi A-line dress, and I think it's really cute and it can be really comfy. I could also make bell sleeves for this, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna do a little button up. I'm really liking these buttons that are like different shapes and colors and sizes, and I found this pattern for this top, although I will say it does look a bit like, where's the lamb sauce, you know, a bit chefy, especially if it's in white. So I'm actually not sure what kind of anything we'll use for this. We'll have to, you know, see as we go. And the last thing we'll be attempting to make this week is this leather tote bag, and I already bought like this crimson colored fake leather fabric. The only thing we need to buy still is a lining fabric, which I'm not sure if we'll do like just a regular red or we'll do maybe a stripy version if we're feeling bold. Otherwise, I found a tutorial for this on YouTube, so I think this will be quite an easy sewing project, I hope. Insert video of me struggling. I love how I'm making these cute things online, and then if you see me when I'm walking my dog outside, 90% of the time I'm wearing the sweatpants I've been wearing for 3 days and a puffer jacket. So if you see me, look away. That's not me. So this should be a very like simple pattern. As you can see, it's quite long, so we can still decide on how short or long we want it when we're gonna cut out the fabric. You can actually make like tops from this pattern as well, and skirts, I guess, separately. So I think that's really cool and very versatile. You can make it long sleeve, short sleeve, whatever you want sleeved. So, and this is the, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Mishko. Oh, so this is the fabric I got for this. Is this jersey cotton, kind of poopy colored. First things first, I'm the release. No, we need to cut this girl out. And I decided to do a midi length because first of all, it's fall. Second of all, I'm supposedly an adult now. And we need to cut out 2 for the front and back piece, and then we need to connect them together at the shoulder seams, which is really easy. And I use the zigzag stitch for everything because it stretches with the seam and it's really nice and it doesn't break on your neck when you're trying to stuff your head in. And once that is done, we just need to top stitch the armholes and put the sides together, and voila! We are finished. I really appreciated how this fabric did not fray at all. So, you know, it's nice to see at least one of us is keeping it together after the daylight savings time switch. I hate it. I hate it. And yay, we have a dress. I'm obviously gonna show it to you on. I just need to iron it first, and I really don't have the energy right now to do that. So I'm just gonna show it to you like this, so you have no idea what I'm actually showing you guys. But it came out really nice. It's one of the simplest patterns I've ever done. It requires like, let me see, 1, 2, 5 stitches, I swear to God. And it flows really nicely. It kind of has like this Princess Leia look, I think. And if you have like, I'm not gonna say I have broad shoulders, but I have narrow hips, and I think like dresses that have wider shoulders really suit me because it like does it optically enhance my shoulders, or does it not then? Or does it do the opposite? I think it makes it look like the dress is actually wide and not my shoulders. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, very unimportant, but I really like it. And then for today, because I'm really scared about doing the top, because I'm not sure what fabric to use, what buttons to use, I'm just gonna push that onto tomorrow's Eva. That's her problem, not mine. And we're gonna do the bag first because I'm really excited about this. I really like this burgundy pleather I got, and I know in the intro I showed you like 2 lining options, but I saw them both in person today and I thought like a basic solid color is too basic for me currently. So, and the striped one just looked a bit gimmicky. So I actually opted for this. It's a really like subtle plaid. I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's gonna look really nice with it. And it has this Chanel-esque, I don't want to say vibe. I don't want to say vibe. So I think these two will look very cute together, and I also bought like the magnetic button. So let's go ahead and try and do that. I just want to procrastinate. I don't actually want to do this, but I kind of want to do this because I want to have a bag. I want to have a bag. Now I am gonna speed run through the bag making process a bit because this is just my extremely faulty interpretation of a perfectly fine tutorial that's already up on YouTube. So I'll link the actual like responsible walkthrough in the description box if you want to check it out there. But the gist is this: you cut out 4 rectangles, 2 for the outer, 2 for the lining, and then you shape them into something that vaguely resembles a bag. Here you can score some bonus points by asking your boyfriend to hammer in the magnetic buttons, not because you believe in gender roles, but because you're a lady that lives in a small apartment with no hammer and a strong desire to keep all 10 of your fingers. Now that we are very proud of our button work, we can attach the right sides of the lining together as well as the right sides of the outer together, and then we're gonna attach the lining to the outer. I will say this though, every time I'm lining something, I for some reason think of a 2010 meme, which is I will bathe you in your children meme, because you always have to dress the lining on the outside part so you can then flip it inside. And the second thing I want to say here is that it always feels wrong and looks wrong, and if that is the case, you're probably doing it right. I genuinely can't believe the year is almost over. Like 2025, are you like... If you told me 10 years ago, I don't think I would have seen the light of day of 2025 or 2026. Well, I was severely like anxious and depressed back then. Now I don't want to bore you guys with my hot takes, but I genuinely feel we'd all be better off as a society if we didn't keep track of time. Now, like, leave the logistics out of it. I know it's needed for the system and to, you know, schedule things, but just imagine this world where you wake up and it's day, and then it's night, and then it's day again. And you don't know what age you are, you're just existing, and you don't need to fulfill anything up until any age because you do not have an age. You don't even have a day of the week. Anyway, my whole point with this is that we're all hardwired to immediately go on to the next thing when we reach a certain goal or something because, you know, time is ticking. And right now, I just want all of us to be grateful for the situation we're currently in because, yes, maybe it's not the situation you were picturing a year ago when you made your last New Year's resolutions, but it's probably the situation you were dreaming of 5 or 10 years ago. Anyway, I hope this year has treated you nicer than these bag straps are gonna treat me in a hot minute. Okay, I gotta tell you guys this quickly because otherwise I'm gonna burn up. I'm burning up for you, baby. I figured out that I'm stupid, obviously, and that I need a PhD to finish this because you're supposed to put the 2 right sides together of the lining and of the outer as well. But then it just becomes this like little blob. I don't know if like, should I just sew it once? Should it? Oh, maybe it will work. Pray for me, cross your fingers, everything. I need a lot of support right now. Also, I'm really scared because when I finish this bag, I'm gonna go on to the top, which is the thing that actually scares me. But otherwise, I think we're doing quite well. I think this is turning out really nicely. Okay, girly guys, we have collectively, you and I, decided, so you can't be mad at me, we've decided this. We're gonna let the strap of the bag marinate. And maybe that will do something, you know, maybe there's like a sewing fairy, like a tooth fairy that just comes in and fixes your shitty work. I don't have the capacity in my brain, it's a Sunday, okay? I don't have the capacity to figure out what I can do here so that it will lay nice and flat and everything. So what I really want to do is just, you're gonna ferment, girl. So what I'm thinking instead is we're gonna move on and we're gonna go do the top, and then when I eventually fuck something up on the top, we're gonna go back to the bag, okay? And now for the top, it does say to use like a non-stretchy, maybe like a linen or 100% cotton fabric. And I know what you're thinking, like, bitch, don't do it. Don't do a stretchy fabric. And to that I say, you're right. But from the fabrics I currently have at home, I just have this linen that was left over from my sister's curtains, and it's really like heavy, and I don't think that will be like a nice top. And then the second option I have is this white, very, very stretchy jersey. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna use this fabric, which isn't actually stretchy, it's just like more drapey than, you know, a linen piece would be. Maybe I don't have enough of it. If I don't have enough of it, we're gonna have to use this one. I'm sorry. I just read the pattern instructions again, and it does say to avoid any fabric that's too fluid. So, let me calculate this. I'm also second guessing if I should even use this pattern because I'm not a huge fan of it because it does look a bit chefy. So I'm actually wondering if I should use the top of the dress that I just made. So should I use my brain, which is very faulty, or should I use the pattern? Both is gonna take me long, but I really just want to wing it. I don't know, I'm not a structured person, I think. We're gonna follow our hearts, and then if it turns out ugly, at least we tried it. Let's do that, let's be adventurous. Let's follow your dreams today, people, follow your dreams. So now we're just recycling the dress pattern and reusing the top only. We're making two identical pieces for the front and the back. The only exception is that I put a slit down the middle on the front part, so that's where our loops will be on one side, and on the other side, the buttons. I'm just gonna do the loops now. Like, my number one strategy is just avoidance. So I'm gonna do the loops now, and then I'm gonna figure out how I should place them on the front, and then if I will feel the need to do the interfacing, I can still do it on the separate pattern pieces. I don't need to do it when it's already constructed because that would be a pain in the ass. I finished the loops. I did 23 because the inspo photo had that many. Now I'm just gonna finish making the shirt the same way that I did the dress. And then we're just gonna measure the length of the shirt and divide it by the number of buttons we want to use so it can be like nice and spaced out. Now I will say some of the loops I made were a bit big for the tiny buttons I have, so here I am regretting my every life decision up until this point. But I decided to persevere, and I also decided to place a scrap of fabric to kind of hide the raw edges of the loops on the inside of the shirt. The only thing I have left to say about the construction of this shirt is that it reminded me of a recurring nightmare I used to have when I was stacking microscopic sized Legos together, because some of these buttons were so small and I needed to hand sew each one of them, and I didn't have the correct needle. I only have like big embroidery needles, so it was quite a pain in the ass. But anyway, I figured it out at the end. I think it took me like 3 hours to sew all of the buttons on, and when I finished it, I was very happy. I'm really happy how this one turned out. I kept singing in my head, must be the season of the witch. I think it's very beginner friendly. It comes together really quickly. Also bonus points because the silhouette reminds me of something Daenerys Targaryen would wear. So I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I think the top turned out better than I expected, but I did expect it to be really ugly. I think it's close to the inspo picture. Some of the button hoops are a bit big for the small buttons I use, so I would have to switch those out for some bigger buttons. It has that oomph that I wanted it to have, so overall I'm quite pleased with this. I'm giving it an 8.5. And last but not least, the bag. I think it came out really close to the inspo picture. I will say I would have made the straps a bit thinner, so keep that in mind if you're gonna use the same YouTube tutorial that I did. I think it would look a bit more polished with the smaller strap, but otherwise I'm really happy with how it looks. I'm gonna give it a 9 because I did mess up some of the underneath stitching, when I was doing the top stitching, I think the tension was a bit off. So if you look really closely, because the lining is a lighter fabric, you can see some mess ups, but you know, who's gonna look inside my bag other than myself? So it's completely fine. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let me know which piece was your favorite, what you would have done differently, or what you want me to do next. And I'll see you next time. Bye!